Hello guys, we're starting the daily analysis here on silver chart, the daily time frame. What you can see from the previous days is that we are finally reaching that fair value gap here, the big one on the daily time frame, which is a very key point from where we should see what the price wants to do. Either it's want to invert from here and start some kind of a bullish push to clear out some of those basic drops to the downside, or it's just a zone from where we can find some kind of a low, then a push to the upside, another test of some kind of a PD area, and then another low over here. So at the moment we are at a very key position that is not for sure what the market wants to do. How are we gonna see the market from here on is we are going to look on the PDRS and see how the market reacts from there. And the first one that we will be looking for is that fair value gap here on the daily time frame, which if you want to keep on pushing to the downside should be respected. If we invert it, then we might be looking for some kind of a bullish market structure that will push on ahead of us. But we're gonna see how that market will close at the end of that day, if it's gonna close above that fair value gap, and if not, if it goes above it, we're gonna seek for it to act as a support for the price and keep on the push to the upside. What we can see on the 4-hour time frame is that we've started to make some kind of a structure. Over here we have a failed low, first of all, then a nice push to the upside, making a market structure shift above that swing high, and a very small fair value gap over here, which was not perfectly respected since that was the new week open and it gapped a little bit to the downside, but after it we've made a very strong push to the upside. And at the moment we've created one more fair value gap here on the 4-hour time frame, which is very good. At the moment the market keeps on making some new structure on the 4-hour time frame that can be respected, and from there the price can keep on pushing to the upside. We're gonna see how today we're gonna react from that order book over here, the big one on the 4-hour time frame. It is kind of not small obstacle to turn around, and if we push and close candle above it, we will for sure be looking for bullish price action. But if we cannot push above it and stay into that range, then we will be expecting maybe a slower day today and a good push from tomorrow. Those over here will be our targets if the market keeps on pushing to the upside later into that week and day. The hourly time frame, what we can see at the moment, we don't have a clear structure we can use for an entry. After that retrace to the downside, if we now keep on pushing to the upside with one session with some volume, then on the retest of some zones over here, we might be looking for a bullish pattern to the upside. And for sure we would want to see a SMT below London lows so we can look for a long position. If we don't have an SMT below the lows, then we want to just have a trade. What we can see here on gold chart, the daily time frame, is actually a very solid structure. We've pushed very hard to the downside on Tuesday, which Friday we've started with an open low and then we closed kind of a bullish candle. We don't have a clear structure over here that we've reacted from, so at the moment the daily time frame is not showing us much, but we might be expecting some kind of a bullish price action from here on if the markets keep on making the 4-hour structure to be respected. What we can see here is a very crucial point, is that fair value gap over here, which if we want to see a bullish price action, we want to see that fair value gap inverted first, and then it should act as a support for the price. If it goes below it or it keep on ranging over here, then we for sure won't be looking for trades until we have a clear structure. If we start aggressive distribution to the downside, then that's just a retrace into the fair value gap and we will be seeking for a new low over here. If we invert it, then we will be probably keep on pushing to the upside, taking those extremes over here and over here until we reach that volume imbalance from last week, and we're gonna see how the price will react from it. That's a very major point from where we should be looking for some kind of confirmations. Here the hourly time frame, not the best looking, but still not a bad structure. We have that volume imbalance over here, which was pushed above. Then we've made a market structure push to the downside over here. So we have the return to that volume imbalance over here, a test of that order block on the hourly time frame. So from here on, we'll be expecting maybe a bullish push, same exact thing as on silver. If we keep on pushing to the upside, make a structure over here, then later in the day with New York Open, we sweep the lows and then push to the upside. It will be a very nice situation that we can use to take some trades to the upside. If we keep on pushing and stay in that zone, I won't rush for shorts. I will be looking for them tomorrow. For today, we will be looking only for long positions over here. And in the state that if only we invert that value gap, then we might be looking for long. So the criteria is for long to keep on pushing and close above it. So we will be looking for longs. Euro on the daily time frame. What we can see over here is a kind of not that solid structure since we don't have PDRS that we are reacting from. We are just coming back to test the range, and from here we are making some kind of a reaction to the upside. The 4-hour time frame still not giving us a lot of signs. We've pushed and closed below that fair value gap, making a bearish market structure shift over here. And with the weekly open, we've managed to aggressively push to the upside and make a market structure upside over here. So we are kind of in a strange situation. The only thing that we can look for is that volume imbalance at the moment at the 4-hour time frame, which was actually tested over here and made a very good reaction to the upside. So we are more leaning to a bullish price action, but that's not the best case scenario to take some longs. Maybe we will be looking for the same exact thing as the one on gold and silver. We look that to be the swing low of London session. We wait for good structure on London, sweep of the lows with New York, and then a push to the upside. That is something that some kind of a scenario that I will be looking for. With today target, maybe should be that order block start over here, maybe even those extremes over there. Some kind of that area we will be looking for take profits. If we close bullish over here, make a structure on London session that we can use as support for the price, then we'll be looking for some kind of longs. And finally, pound was maybe the best looking at the moment since we have that fair value gap on the daily time frame. After that big push to the upside, we've made a very nice retrace to the downside, testing that fair value gap, reacting from it on Friday. At the moment, we start a very nice bullish push to the upside over here. The targets are very clear. That extreme over here should be our target. 4-hour time frame, what we can see is we've reached the extreme of the fair value gap, and from here on we start to make a structure to the upside. We've made a push to the upside, started to respect that fair value gap over here, drop down, test of that newly created 4-hour time frame, respected, very nice push to the upside, inverting that fair value gap, making a new one over here, which is matched with that order block. So we have a very clear structure to the upside at the moment. We'll be looking how that 4-hour candle closes, if it's going to respect that order block or not. We might even invert it with that 4-hour candle. But at the moment, we'll be looking for a bullish price action, and something like that will be the best case scenario with manipulation below London lows and then a chance to position ourselves to the upside. Those highs over here look very good for take profits as well. That one over here as well. So from here on, we will be waiting for New York session for sure for all of the pairs that we are looking for. We are looking for a bullish price action. We are looking for bullish price action to form on London session, and from there on, we will be looking to position ourselves for some longs later into the day. If we reject on all pairs and start pushing to the downside, then we simply don't have trades, and we will be looking for something later into the day or even tomorrow if we see a bearish reaction. That will be it for today, guys.